Hello and welcome guys, I'm the Big Tommy, and today my video is a short little highlights of the first round of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Cup. So we'll run through the starting grid first of all. So that was CSJ92, BF19 Crash, in third place Super Cyan Ant 6, then Scorpio Bees, then we've got Quack 569, Boothy 70, Robo 1710, Here I Come, there we go, the Big Tommy one. Then we got Necrobator, followed by El Joey in 10th position. Funky Little Racer qualified 11th. Then Rennie B 1988, the Punisher there in the 13th spot. In 14th we got Motor Stuntman, Iron Mwanki, GT Wimpy 82, WJF 73, and finishing it off with Chef Vision. Here we have a false start check on a grid start. Love these. Never know what's going to happen. This one's a little bit more skill than a rolling start, and it's always a bit messy at the start. Look, given its highlights, it's always a bit messy on the first lap, so we've got a full first lap for you to have a look at here. It's a little bit tight. Cars going everywhere. Lost a couple of positions. A bit of a knock in the back quarter there from the Punisher. And we go around. A bit of argy-bargy going on. Necrobator's got a 2-second penalty there, and then off he goes. Touring what would be the weeds, but I guess the grass, the sand trap there. Beautiful, love that view there. Necrobator's quite at the back of the pack there, but at this point the pack is still quite small. So coming around in 7th spot, coming up to about halfway through the first lap. Sort of still trying to get their tyres warmed up. So this was a 2 mandatory tyre race, so 1 mandatory pit stop, and the fuel was enough to cover the whole race. So most people I find start on the softer compound to start with. In this race I started with the sports medium tyres, so it did cost me a bit of ground at the start of the race. See a few penalties being thrown about here and there. VF Crash from the 2nd place on the starting grid there, spinning off. Bit of touch up there, could have been something to do with me, and then Punisher's come, and 2nd time he's hit me in the race. We haven't even done a full lap yet. So coming around towards the end of the first lap in 5th position. Got a little bit of a knock there, a bit of a drift, looks pretty good. Unfortunately the back end of the car does not look real pretty. Side by side coming over the line there into the 2nd lap of the race. So we skipped here to lap 3, nothing much has happened. I've got Necrobator on the behind there and chasing down Punisher at this point. It was a late break there by Necromancer, right up behind. A lot of skill in that. Now we've come up, and here's where it gets interesting. Bang, we got a bit of a touch up and another drift there, giving Necrobator a chance to go through. Now what was really interesting there though is Necrobator was right at the back of the pack there after about the 4th corner of the race. So to be into 5th in the 3rd lap, pretty impressive. So we're coming up here now to the end of that 3rd lap, and as you can see I don't really have the pace against the other cars at this point in the race. So BJF charted well down the order if I'm correct, and is definitely making a easy play there up the inside. Didn't really have an answer for what I was delivered there. And then we're going to skip right to the 10th lap because nothing much interesting happened. A few changes of position. Punisher goes off at one point. A lot of pit stops start to happen. But realistically, not a lot of action happening. So here we are on lap 10. Started lap 10 in 2nd place. Sounds pretty impressive, but on corrected order it isn't. Because I hadn't pitted, and say Boothy 70 behind me there just came out of the pits behind me, but came in from 1st place. So yeah, I'm a whole pit stop behind at this point where Boothy 70 is. Skip to, what was this, end of lap 10, into the pits. Just like to watch how efficient they look like the real deal. And then after the rejoin, come in at 11th and make quick work of this here into 10th spot. Now at this point, fair bit of work to do. Obviously, best position of the race at this point was second, and now I'm back here in 10th playing around. Here we go, up in 8th now, so this would be into the 13th lap. 12th lap this one. And here we go, trying to battle for this position. Got up on the inside and then peeled off into the pits. So no contest there. And we got here Ian Milwaukee, I believe. Chasing him up there. Coming up towards the corkscrew, one of my favourite complexes, corners in racing. And as we see, right up there, make a challenge, couldn't make it stick. Both got a little bit messy, bit of a touch, pulled in behind, and let that go. Now this is the end of the 13th lap, another touch there. Could have been a little bit cleaner from my point of view. So now we're, as I say, spinning up to the end of lap 13 into lap 14. Pit stops all done for everybody. And this here, right up, about to go for a challenge here. Want to make this really work, and bang! What is that? Let's see it again. Car appears out of nowhere. Kawaka 569. Yellow flags going. Car's a ghost. Hit it anyway, and then boom, 3-second penalty. So at this point of the race, a little bit upset myself. So into 7th spot there. So I don't know what happened there, whether someone came out of the race to put me into 7th. VF19 Crash, who you might remember was second on the starting grid, caught back up after a big spin on the 3rd lap. So chasing up here and a bit of a drift, nicely done through there. So that was the result of the penalty, got taken by another car. So not many laps to go now, and just worried about keeping the position. So skipped it forward another lap now, still in 8th. VF19 Crash has made a move on Ian Milwaukee, and now I'm wanting to challenge for that position, and done it nicely up the inside, given plenty of room to do so. Nice, clean, respectful racing. Beautiful. It's always what I aim for, not always what I can pull off. So then here, the second to last lap, and made a little bit of an error on this one, and whoop, into the sand pit. Wasn't looking good. Cost me a second or two, and very much put me in the firing line once again. Managed to pull it up. Probably a little bit of a mistake there from Ian Milwaukee. And then you see as we come up around here, nice and tight. Bit of a bumpy ride over that one. A bit too tight around that corner. Then VF19 crashes off the side again. Not sure what happened there. And then final lap chasing down the Necrobator. If you remember right early in the race, was right at the back of the pack. Also got a bit of a challenge here from a lapped car trying to keep in as far up the order as they can. Robo 1710, I believe, started just behind me on the grid, or just in front actually. Anyway, nice little bit of sideways there, and chasing down Necrobator. So I've given the full last lap of the race. Last lap's always pretty exciting. Very exciting to be inside another car like that. So you wouldn't see that in the Formula 1, would we? Right, and then I'm thinking at this point that Necrobator's tyres are probably not so good. Probably did an earlier pit stop. May well be on the softs as well, losing the control. Blue flags waving at the side there. Very much on a touch at the back here. Now I've pulled up brakes right about now. And Necrobator wasn't braking as hard, but still knocked into that. So I feel a bit guilty about that one. as you can imagine, knocked it off and put me into 5th position. However, I did brake at my normal braking marker, and Necrobator did not seem to be braking, didn't have as much of that lean in the car that my car had when it was braking. And then we come up into the final corner and cross the line in 5th. So not a bad result in the end. Hope you liked my highlight reel. If you did like it, hit a like, subscribe. If you do that, I can make more, you can watch more. Okay guys, I'll see you next time.